Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, we will be trying to predict the All Black side that will be going head-to-head with the Springboks in the upcoming Rugby Championship. But it is myself, it is Rugbyitch. We have already predicted the Springboks side, and they have not yet announced their team at the time of this recording. The All Blacks are the same. First of all, mate, how are you doing? You are now in Canada, eh?
Yes, I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto, but no, it's all good, and really excited for the Rugby Championship to start off once again. And started off Springboks versus All Blacks. There's not really anything I could ask for more. Really, this is like the best kind of game in my opinion. So we're really looking forward to it.
Right, so we will be jumping straight into it, mate. Front row, who have you got for this big match up against the Springboks?
Yeah, so for the All Blacks, I want to make a lot of changes here, just because I'm hopefully, Ian Foster has kind of been in, has made some tough decisions. But for this front row, no matter what, you're gonna have to make tough decisions. But I have stuck with George Bower at number one. I've only gone with George Bower because I think that's what Ian Foster would go with, not what I would want to go with. But I do believe George Bower has got the nod, so I'll go with him at number one. At number two, I have made a switch. I have gone with Samisoni Taukei'aho. I believe Ian Foster may come to realize that's probably the right choice in that decision, just because he brings a lot of energy in his game, and he's really good within the lineup as well. So I think he can definitely improve on the set pieces for the All Blacks in that position. And to finish it off, I go with Tyrell Lomax at the number three to give a bit of experience in that position.
Okay, so I have got George Bower number one, same as yourself. Number two, I haven't gone Samisoni Taukei'aho. Instead, I've stuck with Cody Taylor, just for a little bit more of a consistent line out, which I think will be absolutely key for the All Blacks. And this one, Samisoni Taukei'aho, his line out has come a long way, but I think I'm saving him for the bench to have a real impact later on, because he's going to be going head-to-head, maybe with Bongi Onbanambi or Malcolm Marks. Depends on what way the Springboks do want to go. And then number three, I have gone Tyrell Lomax, the man who was brought into the side due to injury. They don't really have a lot of tight head prop options, which is why we may have a debut a little bit later on in the lineup as well. But Lomax, he had a good season for the Hurricanes, I thought, and it is cool to see him back in the All Blacks. Now looking through at locks, I will start with these ones. No Brody Retallick due to his injury, which does mean we had to have a change at number four, and I have gone Scott Barrett as my number four, and then number five, Sam Whitelock. Huge amount of experience, and the fact that we've got two locks in this game, both with 100 test matches, one for either side, Whitelock and Etzebeff, it's going to be absolutely awesome. See who does get the better of those battles.
Yeah, to really no surprise, really. I've come with the exact same pairing as you, obviously with Barrett at number four and Whitelock at number five. So, no changes there in from the lock positions.
Which is interesting, because in our lineup video, when we were trying to choose who we would have, you did have Tupa Va'ai. What makes you think that they won't go with Va'ai and instead with Barrett if you're in the shoes of the New Zealand selectors?
I just think that they need more experience when it comes towards the Springboks, particularly when you're going against Etzebeff and most likely Lloyd Diego. So it's one of those where, you need experience. And of course, like you said, Whitelock brings a ton of that with, obviously 100 tests under his belt. But with Barrett, I just feel like, obviously he has more caps than Tupa Va'ai. And I feel like if you put him in, the start, it's a big move really on Ian Foster's part if he actually makes a decision. Obviously, I would love that if it happens, because it shows that he has kind of the guts to actually make that move. But I just can't see it happening. I feel like they'll just go with experience and kind of more of what they saw within that series against the Irish. So I believe Barrett will be given the opportunity once again.
Okay, so you're saying experience. Now we move on to the loose forward trio. Have you got a very experienced man in the middle of that one?
I do indeed. I've gone with what I believe Ian Foster will go with. At number six, I have gone with Akira Laoni. I just think he's still the number six that you go with, even though Son Rizzo obviously is now back in the squad. It puts a bit of competition under that, which is what you want to see, really. But for the number 7 jersey, I have gone with Sam Cane, obviously to captain the side. I feel like you have to go with him, and what a lot of people just don't remember is that he's actually incredible from the breakdown. He's one of the best players that New Zealand has within the breakdown. So he's definitely crucial for them. Definitely have to go with him, obviously, and the captain. It's understandable. But for the number 8, there's really you can't really have anyone else in this position other than Artie Sevilla. He's the guaranteed number 8, arguably probably the best number 8 in the world, maybe. Maybe that's a debate for another day. But Artie Sevilla definitely at number 8. So that's what I've gone with.
Okay. So very similar to yourself, or in fact identical to yourself. I have gone Akira Ioane number 6, number 7 Sam Cane, and then number 8 Ardie Savea. Now last time he played the Springboks, Ardie Savea was having quite a good couple games in the Rugby Championship. And I think the big word here is going to be physicality. The All Blacks need to make sure that they're not allowing the Springboks to play their natural game. More than likely, Khaleesi, number 7, Peter Toy, they're going to have to get those clean outs early, or else the Springboks may get themselves quite a bit of the ball in the breakdown. But now looking through at 9 and 10, for myself, I have got a big change from what we saw in the Irish tour. Will be number 9, Aaron Smith. That is not the change. But number 10, I have gone Richie Mo'unga. Beauden Barrett, he got to start all 3 matches up against the Irish. I decided why not give Mo'unga a chance up against the Boks.
I like that. I like that a lot. So you've done that. That's exactly the same as what you went with your lineup as well. So that's interesting that you think Ian Foster will also incorporate that idea. But yeah, no, I guess I have also kind of swayed for the first time in a while, and I've actually gone with Aaron Smith at number 9, as I feel like you just can't get rid of him at this point in time, just because, you know, again, a lot of experience under his belt. But for the number 10 position, I have made the bold call, and I've actually gone with a switch. So I have gone with Richie Mo'unga at number 10, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, I believe Beauden Barrett is still the best number 10 New Zealand house, but for the purposes of kind of getting into that kind of new system maybe, and kind of, I don't know, just getting a new start really to this team, it's understandable if they go with Richie Mo'unga, and he's a hell of a player. So yeah, definitely think he's the right choice for this game.
Alrighty, so now we go into the interesting positions, which is the rest of the backs. The backs themselves have said it hasn't quite been firing the way that they want it to. In the centres, who have you got as your 2 in the middle?
I mean, for the centres, I would love to have Quinta Pine here, as I said to him in the other video I did. But I have gone with David Avili in this position. He's always been the 12 really that Ian Foster selected the most. So I've gone with him to start at number 12. And then number 13, I've gone with Rieko Ioane. I believe that combination it's the most used combination the All Blacks have had during Ian Foster's time. And I don't think he'll change that. So yeah, that's my 12 and 13 combination.
Okay, and just like yourself, identical. It will be Havili
there you go.
Rieko Ioane as my 12 and 13, although I have a feeling maybe for our back 3, we might have a little bit of a change. I will go first, number 11. We know that Caleb Clark is close to coming back from that injury, if not being back from it, but instead I have gone Lester Whaiananuku as my number 11. Be going head-to-head with either Jesse Creel, Kurt Learenza, whoever the Springboks decide to go at their number 14. I think Lester Whaiananuku could be very competitive in those one-on-one battles. Number 14, I've gone Will Jordan. Now, this isn't what I would do, but it's the case of what are the All Blacks going to do? And I've got to try and get some points on the board. Yeah, so because of that, Will Jordan, number 14, and then number 15, Jordie Barrett. I know so many people who want to see Will Jordan get that chance at 15. I am one of them, but it's whether or not the All Blacks are willing to take that risk or not in a first game up against the Springboks. Last time we did see Jordie Barrett very strong under the high ball up against the Boks, kicking a Faf de Klerk. So I would think maybe they give him another crack, which also brings into my mind maybe Jordie moves to somewhere else on the back line. We'll have to wait and see.
Exactly.
As your outside backs.
Well, I actually have made a few changes to you within this kind of section, which is not surprising at all because this is normally where we kind of like to switch things. But yeah, for the 11 jersey, I have actually stuck with Caleb Clark here. I've gone with him. I mean, Lester's probably the guy who will get it, but I feel like to be different, I want to go with Caleb Clark here because they may just put him in the lineup straight away and just test him out against the Springboks, because I do think his kind of a size will definitely be something that the Springboks may not be able to handle. So and it kind of reminds me of like what the Lions did with Van der Merwe. I could see maybe the All Blacks utilizing Caleb Clark in a similar way. So maybe that's the way they'll go with him. But yeah, for the 14 jersey, I have made the bold call and I've put Jordie Barrett in the 14 jersey. And I've shifted Will Jordan to 15, where I believe he deserves to play, and where we've seen for countless years now, I think for over 3 years, I believe, for the Crusaders, he has just nailed that position down. No one can take that spot off him, and I believe he's gonna start. I believe this is the time to actually make that call, and yeah, it's a bold call because obviously Jordie Barrett is just he's a great player, but now with Richie Mo'unga as the 10. I was even actually considering Jordie Barrett not even starting him because Mo'unga is still a good, a kicker. And obviously the debate about putting Beauden Barrett in your side is like, if you're putting Barrett, then you have to have the other Barrett at 15. But I have stuck with Jordie Barrett because he's a great player in terms of early, he's one of the best players in the world in catching the ball. So I've stuck with him at number 14.
Very interesting. So it's kind of that question of how much of a risk are they willing to take in that first match? Because that's the thing. Number 14, I guess when you think about it, you could almost have a full backline of Crusaders players, couldn't you?
That's why.
Number 10, Richie Moonga, Whainā Nuku at 11, 12, Havili, 13, Braden Enor, then number 14, Sever Reese, Will Jordan at number 15. So they're stacked with Crusaders in there. But I doubt we're going to see that for the first test up against the Springboks.
We just need the number 9. We just need the number 9, and that's it. Yeah, maybe.
He got turned down.
He's gone to Japan.
Podcast, didn't he?
Yeah, he's actually gone to Japan as well. So unfortunately, he can't be called up. But I'm trying to think who's the Crusaders. Drummond, of course. I mean, he's a great scrum half, very underrated scrum half. Maybe he in the future maybe gets a call up, but that'd be hilarious actually if they did a whole Crusaders backline. I'd love that. But
I mean, some people may not love that.
Oh no, of course. I mean, like even as a Blues fan, I can still appreciate if someone it's very what's the term? Like it's very ballsy to actually kind of do that. It's it'll be interesting to see what happens. But we'll see.
So speaking of Crusaders players, we might have a few of them coming off the bench in this contest. First of all, your front row replacements. Who have you gone with for this test?
Yes. So for the number 16, I have gone with Cody Taylor here, of course, as I have selected Samisoni Taukei'aho to start. For the number 17 position, I have gone with Ethan de Groot here, as he's now returning back into the All Black side, which is great to see. I would have started him if it was my lineup, but of course, I do believe they'll kind of give him an opportunity off the bench first, get some minutes under his belt, and then maybe start him with the next game. We'll see if that's what happens. But like you said, a debutant for the number 18 position here, Fletcher Newell, which is a big call up for him, of course. He's never been, I believe, involved with the All Black setup before, so a very big moment for him. And as well as his family, of course. So, very excited to see what he can do.
So I've got the change at number 16, of course, Samisoni Taukei'aho. So we have both decided to leave out Dane Coles for this first test match up against the Springboks, which is interesting, seeing as he has got a bit of experience. Number 17, not a lot of experience here, Ethan de Groot. He's only had a few All Blacks caps to his name. And then number 18, even less experience, going to be on his debut, Fletcher Newell is there as my number 18. But moving on to the rest of my forward replacements. Now, we're not sure whether or not the Springboks are going with their 6-2 split yet, as they have not announced their side at the time of this recording, although they would have by the time this video does get uploaded on the channel. But for me, number 19, I have gone Tupava'ai, and then number 20, Dalton Papali'i.
Ooh, I like that. Well, I have made one change to you here. I wanted to put Tupava'ai in, but I made the bold call and thinking what Ian Foster will go with, and I have gone with Patrick Tuipulotu here. Again, the only reason why I've gone with him ahead of Tupava'ai is just for experience. It's the only reason why. If it was me, I'd go Tupava'ai, but to even start the game. But yeah, I do believe Patrick Tuipulotu, his experience off the bench will be crucial for the All Blacks if they want to get that win, that first win over the Springboks. So I've gone with him at the number 19 position, and I've gone with Dalton Papali'i, the same as you, in the number 20.
Okay, so a little bit of Blues making their way onto the bench.
Indeed.
Now, next few positions, there's a chance you could also have some Blues players slotting in there. The question, I guess, is more, have you got one, have you got two, or have you got all three as the Blues players?
Maybe. I'll just go in order. I'm not going to say right now what it is, but for the number 21, I have gone with Finlay Christie, so that is one there. And yeah, he just deserves to be on there, in my opinion, ahead of Flyhalf at the moment, so I've gone with him. For number 22, I have gone with Beauden Barrett, so that is two. So it's getting closer and closer. But for the number 23, I haven't gone with a Blues player. So it is stay by two. And I've gone with Quinn Tupaia to come off the bench. Okay. So he's the option because he's actually versatile in the sense where he can play center as well as the 14 if he has to, because we have seen him play in that position for the Chiefs. So I think that's kind of the reason why I've gone with him ahead of other players.
Okay, so I've got a few changes to yourself. Number 21, I've gone with Folau Fakatava, keeping it in the Highlanders for the halves. And I think he can really add that, I guess, unpredictability to the All Blacks in the later stages of the game. I don't think he'll be kicking it too often either, I wouldn't think. I think he'll be running it, trying to create that extra pressure around the side of the breakdown, something that Nick White did pretty well up against the Springboks last year during the Rugby Championship. So I think Folau Fakatava may try and play that kind of game around the side of the breakdown, lower in some of those big forwards. Number 22, no surprises here. I have gone with Beauden Barrett. If he isn't in the starting lineup, he will certainly be somewhere, I would think, in that 23, unless, of course, any sort of injury does creep in for him. And then number 23, I haven't got Quintal Pye. Instead, I have gone with a man who specialises in number 14, and that is Sevu Reece as my number 14 option for this contest. So overall, we're relatively similar, but also a few changes in there just to make it a little bit of an interesting one when they do announce their side on the Thursday. But thank you very much, mate, once again for joining me. Now, before we get to the end of this video, I will ask you, out of your All Blacks side, who is the man you are least confident with being in that lineup?
I know this might sound weird, guys, but I'm actually thinking Jordie Barrett. I'm the least confident in, because originally I actually had Sevu Reece as my 14 and then Will Jordan at 15, but I made a last minute switch while doing this, and I've gone with Jordie Barrett just because I feel like it's what Ian Foster will go with, but I actually don't have a lot of confidence in him as much as I used to. So maybe that's the decision which Ian Foster kind of does. But at the same time, if I had to be realistic in the most unrealistic one I've chosen, it'll probably be Caleb Clark, because just in terms of if he's ready or if he's fit enough to obviously play.
I think the one that I'm looking at for myself is probably Richie Mo'unga starting. I know that they do like to have Beauden Barrett as that fly half option. But yeah, alongside you, I think Jordie Barrett, there's a chance that they do go Beauden Barrett 22, Jordie Barrett 23, and have both Barretts come off the bench in the later stages of the game. Because I think they actually did that up against Australia last Rugby Championship, or they did it up against someone anyway, that they did have it. But nonetheless, I guess that is going to be the end of this video. Do let us know your predictions in the comments for your starting lineup and reserves of the All Blacks. But as soon as it is announced, we will be doing the video on the channel as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to check out Rugbyitch for more rugby content over there. Be sure to leave a like as well and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.